Have you ever noticed that? Like you see
Yeah.
someone totally killing it, just like unstoppable momentum. And it makes you wonder, what's their secret? What's going on there?
Right. Like they've got this extra gear that the rest of us just don't have access to.
Yeah, like what's the hidden switch they flipped?
Exactly. And that's what we're digging into today. This kind of mysterious force we all feel but can't quite put our finger on.
This is it. This is the deep dive where we unlock that secret.
Okay, so to crack this code, we've got this super interesting piece by Joseph Aminian.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him.
hmm
Isn't he the mindset guy?
That's the one. The title of the article is Why Belief is the Ultimate Mindset Hack for Success and Personal Growth. It's pretty catchy, right?
It really is. And for anyone listening, we're going to break down Aminian's big idea that believing in something isn't just a feel-good thing. It's like the core operating system for achieving anything you set your mind to.
It's like the foundation, the bedrock.
Love that. Aminian goes deep into how our beliefs actually shape how our minds work.
Totally. He's not just, giving us some motivational posters.
Yeah.
He's offering what seems like a very practical way to build real confidence and gain laser focus. So, to our listeners, our mission today is to help you understand this argument.
Yeah, this idea of belief being like the engine, the driving force behind our actions.
Exactly. And how you can learn to take control of that engine.
Okay, I'm strapped in. Let's unpack this thing.
So Aminian starts by looking at the typical, dictionary definitions of belief. Things like trust, confidence, accepting something as true. But here's where it gets interesting.
Oh, I love when things get interesting. Lay it on me.
He comes right out and says that these definitions, while true, they don't really get to the heart of what belief is. They don't explain how he puts it, the underlying mechanism.
Okay. So it's not just about the words themselves. Like, yeah, we trust in something, but what's happening behind the scenes?
Precisely. It's like saying a car is just metal and wheels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, technically. But that doesn't tell us anything about how it actually moves, how it gets us from point A to point B.
Yeah. Okay, now I see what he's getting at. He's going deeper.
Way deeper. Aminian sees belief as something way more dynamic. He calls it, get this, an essential cognitive tool.
Whoa. Okay, so not just a feeling, but a tool. That's a powerful way to look at it.
I know, right? And get this, he goes on to say that without belief, our minds are basically stuck, like in neutral. No drive, no action, no new ideas, nothing gets created.
Makes sense. It's like, if you don't believe you can do something, you're probably not even going to try, are you?
Exactly. And he uses this amazing analogy. He talks about belief being like the currency of the mind.
Whoa. Okay, I'm intrigued. Break that down for me.
So think about it. If your mental bank account is filled with, negative thoughts and self-doubt, are you going to invest in anything big or risky?
Probably not, right? You'd be too afraid to lose what little you have.
Exactly. Aminian is suggesting that we need to build up this positive belief currency. So we have the resources, the mental capital, to fuel our journey towards knowledge, progress, and becoming the best version of ourselves.
Okay, I love that. Belief is currency. So we've got this amazing tool, this mental currency that gets things moving. But how do we actually use it? Like, where's the on switch?
All right, well, this is where Aminian gets really specific. He says belief kicks into gear, really activates the mind, when something he calls our true self directs its energy towards a goal.
True self. I like that. Sounds pretty deep.
Right. And he doesn't go into a long definition here, but you can kind of think of it as your deepest values, your real desires, what gives you purpose. He says it's this true self that directs its full, unwavering attention with laser-like focus and pure intention.
Wow. Laser-like focus and pure intention. That sounds like a pretty intense mental state.
Oh, it definitely is. But here's the catch. He's not saying we should just go out and start believing in random things. There's a crucial first step.
Okay, there's always a catch. What is it?
Before we can even start to direct that energy outwards towards our goals, he says we need to master the ability to turn that focus inward.
Inward, like focusing on ourselves.
Yes. Because this is where self-belief becomes absolutely essential. He says, and I quote, "Self-belief is the foundation upon which all other beliefs are built."
The foundation upon which all other beliefs are built. So he's saying that if we don't believe in ourselves first, then any other belief we try to build is going to be weak.
Like a house built on sand.
It'll crumble.
Exactly.
Okay, so inward focus, connecting with that true self, building that core self-belief. Got it. But what's the reward for all this inner work? How does believing in ourselves help us achieve things out there in the real world?
This is where it gets really good. Aminian says this inward focus ignites self-confidence, and he calls self-confidence, get this, the most critical psychological state for human survival.
Wow, most critical for human survival. It's a pretty bold statement. I mean, that takes self-confidence to a whole new level. He's not just talking about, feeling good in the new outfit.
Not at all. He's saying it's absolutely essential for our well-being, for us to even function in the world.
So it's not just something you're born with or without, like, say, your height.
No, he says self-confidence is activated, literally switched on, by the act of believing in yourself. It comes directly from that inward focus and accepting yourself as you are.
So it's like the more you believe in yourself, the more confident you become.
Exactly. And once you have that self-confidence, your mind is free to focus outward, to pursue your goals with that belief as your tool.
Okay, I'm seeing the pattern here. So we focus inward, we feed that focus with pure intention, we build self-belief. That then turns on the self-confidence, and now we can use belief as fuel to achieve anything.
You got it. And you know what's really interesting? Aminian keeps coming back to that first step, that inward focus.
Why is that inward focus so important?
Because, he says, it's in that moment of truly looking inward, of really seeing yourself, that you realize something really profound.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat here. What's the big realization?
He says that we come to understand that simply by being born, by the miracle of being alive, we are already enough.
Wow, okay, that just hit me. So it's not about striving to become enough. It's about realizing we already are.
That's the beautiful paradox. We already have everything we need within us. And Aminian is really passionate about getting us to see belief as this dynamic, active force.
Yeah, he's not describing it as some passive thought floating around in our heads. It's more like energy, a driving force.
Absolutely. He calls it a catalyst that activates the mind, fuels innovation, and empowers us. It's the spark that ignites everything.
I love that. And he even calls it the invisible force that drives our ambitions, shapes our confidence, and ultimately determines our success. Like it's this underlying current that's always there influencing everything.
Yeah. What we believe really does have the power to shape our reality.
So what's the takeaway here?
Aminian is giving us a roadmap, a way to tap into this incredible power.
By going inward?
Yes. It starts with that inner journey, cultivating self-belief. Then that belief radiates outwards, helping us focus our energy and reach our full potential. It's about owning our existence, feeling that deep sense of certainty about who we are.
So we don't have to go searching for beliefs somewhere outside ourselves.
Nope, it's already inside us, waiting to be unleashed.
And that brings us to the question Aminian poses directly to all of you listening.
He doesn't beat around the bush, he asks. Now, the question is not whether belief has power. The question is whether you will claim that power for yourself.
It's a challenge, isn't it? Like, okay, we understand the theory. Now what are we going to do about it?
And he gives us a clear place to start. He urges us to turn our focus inwards and start believing in ourselves, fully, without holding back.
No more second guessing, no more self-doubt, just pure, unadulterated self-belief.
Exactly. It's time to step into our power. And he reminds us again, you are enough, just as you are.
Right from the start, it's not about earning it. We already have it. I love that.
And he goes on to paint this amazing picture of the world, not as a battlefield, but as a blank canvas, waiting for us to create.
A canvas for us to express ourselves.
Exactly. Every challenge we face, every opportunity that comes our way, it's all an invitation to grow, to create, to thrive.
And how do we make the most of those invitations?
It all comes down to trusting ourselves, completely and unapologetically. That's the key that unlocks everything.
Love it. So as we wrap things up, Aminian leaves us with some thought-provoking questions. What will you choose to believe about yourself today?
Yeah. Will you let those old doubts hold you back? Or will you finally embrace the truth? That you are whole, capable, and more than enough.
That's the choice we all face.
And his final message is a call to action. He says, this is your moment to step beyond hesitation and into the life that is rightfully yours. The journey inward begins now, and with it, the realization that belief is not something to search for. It is something to claim.
Powerful stuff. This has been a deep dive into Joseph Aminian's ideas on the ultimate mindset hack, belief. And in case you missed it, all of that brilliant insight is from his article, Why Belief is the Ultimate Mindset Hack for Success and Personal Growth.
Copyright 2025, Joseph Aminian.
So listeners, what will you choose to believe? Until next time, keep exploring those amazing, often invisible forces that shape our world.
And keep believing in yourselves.